Holy shit.
But we'll see how things work out as we get into this first match here.
Normal unit would. It ends up being reduced. Guys, I've got good news for you. It looks like we've got Jin and How to Play back together. So again, that pre-ban was auto-selected. We said it looked off, and it definitely was, Stoic.
Yep, but we were also right about he made it to the DAC page, and that is where he disconnected. He did get a Dark Unit pre-banned here, but it is going to be the Dark Onimusha getting pre-banned out, and the Olivers getting pre-banned out, of course. Jin with the first pick of
So
the Yan
close.
Hong, How to Play very quickly responded with a Nephthys and Chang Peng.
It was so close. He was so close to the Ongiyuki pre-ban before he got out, but it looks like everything's working swimmingly right now. The Nephthys first pick from How to Play is pretty cool. That's a nice statement early, and here comes a Han to give it an even bigger speed lead than it already had.
Yep, there's How to Play with looking at a commanding lead. Nephthys, Han, and Gianna locking in both of his speed leads. Jin with the response of a Volantis in Savannah coming out of Jin. Jin also wants turn 1.
Oh yeah, I love the Volantis pick here, especially because Volantis has that the counterattack chance, which is really great in this matchup here.
Yep, very great indeed. Now, if I thought of 4 DAC units that just mix so well with Han, I would name them as Nephthys, Gianna, and Wunsa. And that is exactly what we're seeing.
Exactly what How to Play has brought to the table. Nice ban. I think that ban from Jin banning out the Nephthys is actually pretty important. While Han represents a unit lost, Nephthys potentially represents the entire team lost.
That's right. What I want to say here is that we're going to see an outstanding speed coming out of Yan Hong to take turn 1. That is not the case here. Wunsa is going to be taking turn 1, pushing back all these... Oh, wait a second here. Just go with the first skill and landing the 2-turn sleep onto the Yan Hong.
Just a hope and a dream on that first skill. He read the attack bars and saw that he was pretty far ahead there and was able to just go ahead. So he was like, you know what, we're going to save this for a rainy day. It was a very good choice. Here comes Han, looking to maybe secure an early kill. Goes for the dismount on Savannah, just short.
Really big dismount there. He's going to get the dismount for sure out onto the Savannah, and that's going to be a really big player. Nice provokes, though, is landing on top of the Chang Peng and the Han. That was really, really important for that Volantis. Rain of Stone's coming out, not getting his... Oh, well, getting 3 stuns there. Wanted to get the Gianna, of course, as well. Spear Devastation going out on the Gianna, make sure that those stuns will not be available.
It looks like missing that dismount is gonna be...
Wow!
It wasn't just that, but boy was it a signal for the worst to come. Jin,
wow,
with what I would call the first cleave of the day, or counter cleave, as it were.
The no-will runes on Jin actually coming through here.
And also, not getting the dismount on the Savannah was pretty huge, because he managed to get the AoE defense breaks out way early. And also, he was going to get another turn with her, too, because Yan Hong had the chance to skill 3 and heal.
Well, now that How to Play knows there's no will runes on any of those units, I think we're going to see a different round 2 here. Great on Jin for sneaking out that victory, though. It was a great victory for Jin. We got pre-bans from last time that Dark Onimusha is going to be back, and so is the Oliva.
Yeah, they're both on the table. We'll see if Jin wants to make use of that. It would certainly make me happy if he brought that Ongiyuki in.
That's going to be a lot of... I mean, he banned it for a reason. That's a lot of damage that Jin does not want to have to run into. I'm expecting to see more LD units getting pre-banned here. Maybe in the form of that Nephthys this time.
Yeah, and so I gotta say, that was a really cool first game. We even saw Jin get outsped, but it ended up just being how he navigated. You know, he took the first impactful turn, right? That was pretty great.
If there was will runes out there, it would have been a different story for sure, but we've got Light Monk King getting pre-banned out here, obviously being something Jin does not want to have to play against. How to Play, probably not too worried about not having the Light Monk King. I do like that pre-ban on top of the Nana, knowing that he's not gonna have that in Jin's box here.
That's right. Oh my goodness. How to Play ended up taking that Ongiyuki that we were talking about. I'm excited.
Nope. Now, we already know that there's not going to be any will runes on the other side of the field, so once again, that Nephthys might just be the ban here.
Yeah, I think that's probably a safe bet considering we know exactly how these units are runed. We actually know how all of these are runed, except for the Moor.
Yeah, I would actually prefer how to play taking that Oliver, knowing that the will runes aren't going to be there. But it looks like Jin's going to take that Oliver. He doesn't want to let how to play have the unit.
And there's the Han. So if we see a... Okay, so we don't see the wound sub back again. We know how fast these units are now. But I think that's... Man, there's so much AoE threat here, Stoic. But I think that... But does it assemble a working comp? We're going to have to see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're definitely expecting the Sekhmet to be taking turn 1. I mean, double speed lead coming out of Jin, so he's going to get a speed lead through. Sekhmet's going to kick things off for us. The Nephthys, I think, once again, is going to be the ban again.
Definitely. So we kind of know how this plays out. Han will not necessarily effectively be able to get that dismount from Savannah if everything works out the same way it did last game. So that means Savannah is going to be open. He still gets the speed lead from Moore, and he can open up with the Sekhmet, presumably.
Yeah, that's interesting to see a Yanhong getting the ban out here. I would have just thought that the Sekhmet was just going to get the reset on top of the Yanhong. That is not the case here. 30 dark speed lead for how to play. 24 speed lead.
Let's see.
Wow.
I think he was hoping. I think he was hoping that maybe Yanhong's base speed was going to be a problem, but it turns out the Dark Monkey has a surprise for everybody and stuns up most of Jin's team. Here comes Sekhmet. Does she stick to the plan? The resist!
Oh, man. That's big there because he was hoping for the stun going out onto the Sekhmet. Missing that stun on the Sekhmet was actually one of the biggest things here, but it didn't matter. Sekhmet, not consistent enough, doesn't get the strip. Reset.
Yeah, that was gonna be a tough one. In that situation, he was probably debating using skill 2 into Nephthys. Ongyuki confirming every single kill on the planet and wrapping up the game single-handedly.
As quick as Jin did away with how to play in that first round is as quick as how to play did away with Jin in the second round. Because there was no will runes on the form on the side of Jin.
I'll take it one step further. It was game as soon as Sekhmet decided not to stick to the plan. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you get that resistance from the Sekhmet. And it really hurts, and in that case, it did cost Jin the whole point there. And I do understand the Yanhong ban to a degree, because she's got a really fast base speed. So that's the variable that Jin was kind of afraid of, because he more or less saw how that game played out, and just hoped that his Sekhmet would take it to go. But unfortunately, she had other plans.
Yep, that is true, but he did have a 30 dark speed lead for how to play. I would still assume that the Sekhmet should be outspeeding that the Yanhong, but I guess we'll find out. Yanhong is actually going to be a pick here for Jin, taking that unit away from how to play. How to play, looking at a guys, we're looking at a non-LD unit coming out of how to play in the form of Shizuka.
I love how you just like yell it from the rafters. You like climb up to the roof and scream it out to the city, guys. And it's
just using my inside voice, Evan.
That's the inside voice. I love it. Okay, so this is really great. How to Play did something cool. Saw that Jin had like 0 will on any unit and was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna draft a bunch of defense break and hope for the best.
I do like Jin's draft already, though, with the Yanhong, Moore, and Okeanos. I do like Sekhmet a lot more than Okeanos, but Okeanos is going to be used here for his additional damage and his stuns, of course. The second skill is so unreliable, but how to play, drafting another non-LD unit in the form of Nana. And Dominic! The dominant Dominic is coming back.
The dominant Dominic. Probably the monster that we are most afraid of now, having gotten this deep into the tournament, I'd say. Like, I'm very afraid of what Dominic can do here.
Ooh, I actually kind of like the Sekhmet. I would have preferred to see the Sekhmet over the Okeanos if he was going to be drafting a Sekhmet anyways. Takes the Sekhmet back. We're going to be seeing an Abelio. Takes the Abelio back. Jin needs to figure out what he wants here.
Yeah, and I get it. The Dominic is making me nervous too, especially because there's so many efficient and reliable sources of defense break. Right now, I don't know. Oh, man, that's a complication. Maybe
I love it. I really hope he goes back to the Oberon. The Oberon, the Shizuka is going to be an excellent combination, because right now I think Jin needs to say that he's going to be banning out probably the Tian Lang.
Yeah, okay, so I like what he was going for there with that Oberon to try to get that ignore defense kill, but he's lacking the speed lead. This is a very turn 2 comp, and Oberon really wants to go early and snipe a monster. So I think that this is probably the safer approach. This is a record low LDs from How to Play. Only one in Tian Lang here.
Yeah, great last pick from How to Play. Abelio's going to get the ban there, and How to Play is going to be banning out that big damage threat in the form of Masha. Speed lead for Jin. Jin's definitely going to be taking turn 1 here. I'm got an HP lead coming up for How to Play. Here we go, guys. We've got round 3. How to Play versus Jin.
Let's see how it goes. Yanhong, we expected to take the turn 1, and she can boost up the team and Tian Lang by proxy.
Yeah, great super attack bar pushback there onto the Dominic. Very, very important. We're going to see some big skill 2 stuns. Stun goes out on the Yanhong, and of course it's going to be landing on top of the Juno.
Let's see if she can get a clutch stun on Dominic. No such luck. You want to try to remove that thing as fast as possible. Big resistance from Shizuka. This is the second game in a row where Jin has tried to land something like that and has come up empty.
I know. I expect that from Okeanos, to be honest with you. Not so much the segment, but Okeanos once again proving why his second skill is just not consistent. Does not land on the Shizuka.
We don't... it's interesting to me that he's not popping that. I would almost pop it there just for the speed buff and the stun.
Yeah, he could have got a lot of value if he did do that third skill, but he's going to be holding on to it for a good reason. We'll find out what that reason is. Does get a Despair Stun on top of the Okeanos defense break, setting across the field of Jin.
Yeah, here we go. So right now, How to Play is going to have to focus down that Juno if he wants to consider his future too. He's already made some pretty effective progress on that Yanhong, but I'm afraid for what that Juno represents later down the line.
Oh, a brilliant violent proc to take out that Yanhong there. That was really big. Up to 2 orbs, and I think that's going to be a huge setback for Jin.
Oh, big time, especially because he wasn't able to remove the Dominic before that. I think, yeah, good call. That was really big. And she does not have her strip available. Oh, tragic for Jin.
Yeah, definitely tragic indeed. He's going to be beelining that Okeanos. Second, that's 3 orbs. That's going to be it for Jin. We're going to be going into a game 4.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, How to Play is at match point here.
And just like that, How to Play taking round 3. It's just, you're putting out way too much damage, and I think Jin needs to be a little bit more prepared for that Dominic.
Yeah, you got to be ready. You got to be ready for it. You got to assess the situation and see, because as well as Juno could have done in a late game situation, Dominic does not present a late game at all. He's trying to expedite that process. So it was either Yanhong or Dominic goes first, and it was the latter, or it was the former rather.
Interesting. We're going to see a pre-ban in the form of Gianna this time, and Water Ryu is going to get the pre-ban here. Now let's keep in mind about that very dominant draft that How to Play was able to put down onto the field, eliminating Jin very, very quickly with that Dark Oni Musha. So that is still on the field, and I think this first pick is going to signal what How to Play is going to be doing here.
I'm interested to see how he goes. It looks like he's going to continue the tradition of passing the Yanhong just back and forth in that first pick slot.
Yanhong is going to be first pick by How to Play. Shizuka going to be drafted by Jin, as well with one other pick here. Could be honestly a Juno. I wouldn't be so upset if Jin had picked a Juno after like what we've seen from How to Play, and it looks like he's going to go with a Masha.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Oh dear. We've seen this before, Stug. This is the
that's
setup.
What absolutely ended him.
Yeah, this was the fastest game. These two have had the fastest games of the qualification match so far, and he's doing the exact draft that he did, except without the Dark Monkey King.
Yep, so at least we know the Oliver should be on Will as well, but I think Oliver might be the unit being banned out here, not wanting to give the segment a potential turn 1, but this segment can and should outspeed the Yanhong here. So I had said before that I think Nephthys should have been the ban here. So let's see what the ban will be as we get into this round 4.
Yeah, because that's the AoE defense break. That's why I definitely agree. I definitely agree with you there. Previously, we saw the Dark Monkey King acting as a secondary, a redundancy to apply that AoE defense break. But because none of that is present, you got to ban out the Nephthys. Great call, Stug.
Yep, there it is. So Nephthys is going to get the ban. Abelia is going to get the ban here. 33 speed lead for Jin. 30 speed lead for Dark Units on the side of How to Play. Definitely going to be seeing a segment taking first turn here, and that can be the reset there on top of the Yanhong, or even the Han.
Here comes the Wunsa. Yeah, but because the Sekhmet is not on Will. It won't get the reduction. Increasing Han. Can Han do something? Can it kill? We don't actually. We haven't seen Han against any monster except Savannah yet, so we don't know. Let's see. Oh,
it's a lot of damage. You can go with the AoE to take care of that Oliver right here. Almost getting the dismount as well on top of the Masha. We've got skills available with Sekhmet, of course, but you know, there's not a ton for available here, so you can't get a ton of value with this here, but choose to go for it anyways, because that skill's on top of Mahon apparently, but misses it anyways!
The res, bro! Oh man, Jin not getting anything.
That's the loss
even at
right
the
there,
end.
to be honest with you. Blade Fan comes out on the Masha, gets the dismount.
Everything. I don't know if there's a stun in the pool. Not that you want to stun Ongyuki, but you definitely want to stun everything else. So we could see a Shizuka skill 3, or maybe a skill 2. Oh dear.
I mean, we're going to get a skill 3 coming out of this Shizuka. I feel like that's the only thing Shizuka can do right now to try to get some sort of value out in the field, but just missing units is just... It's way too hurtful. We're going to see a skill 3 going out onto the Yan Hong. He wants to try and remove that unit from the field.
So close, but yet so far. I think that could definitely be the explanation for Jin in this game.
100% here. That is going to be it. How to play! Taking round 4 away from Jin.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, how to play. Great showing in that matchup. Jin really opened strong on that one, Stoic, but unfortunately how to play. I don't know if it was tenure in competitive environments or what, a deeper box, or just the ability to adapt.